or just Democrats that want these files. It's like the first time everyone is together on this.
Do you notice that they seem to really need people to accept that everybody is together on that? And it's not true, but so what it reminds me, it's like they want to convince themselves of it, and yet her and Dave Smith, it's like you're all in your own world. Do people remember Yuval Noah Harari with the World Economic Forum? And he said that we can hack human beings. So, and obviously doing that through social media, using people like her and Dave Smith, because here's what happened. The reason that Trump calls it a Democrat hoax is, well, because it is, and these people are trying to hack your brain. And they've hacked a ton of people's brains to get them convinced of this whole story that's been wrapped around Epstein that the Democrat Party created. Was Epstein a sex offender? Yes, he was. Was he tied to influential people? Yes, the Clintons. The Clintons are more powerful than any intelligence agency. They are, because after this is why going back to the JFK files and MLK files is really important, because that's when everything seemed to fall apart. Again, JFK, he deliberately messed up the Bay of Pigs because I don't know how you could mess that up, but that gave him a reason then to go after the CIA. And then all of these movements, all these communist movements that called themselves Black Power movements, that were violent groups that wanted overthrow of America violently, came in after MLK and JFK. I don't think we'll ever know who killed these men. I would say that, just as a guess, that MLK, likely it was communists, because it would serve the communist agenda to make America look racist. So I could see communists taking him out, because then they could further push that America is this racist country. But I don't think there were so many special interests surrounding both of these people, and of course Kennedy was a Nazi sympathizer. So the thing you have to realize is that the only evidence of what we do know about Jeffrey Epstein is that he was a sex offender and he was tied to influential people. After the committee, in 77, they got a hold of the FBI and the intelligence agencies. So the politicians have had more power. Okay? So, but what happened was Cindy McCain came out in 2020 and said, we all knew Epstein was up to this, but nobody would do anything. That began the Democrat story that they wrapped, the Democrat hoax around Epstein that they wanted to create. And that story goes to Mossad and Israel. The very thing that the Democrats hate is Israel. Yet there's no evidence that he was tied to Mossad. The one person that was a former Mossad agent, he was Iranian born, and he has no evidence to back up anything he says. Then she likes to say, because that former prime minister was with Epstein all the time, yeah, well, so were the Clintons. So maybe it was just because he was like Clinton. Okay? But they've managed to create an entire Mossad intelligence around Epstein. This is all a CIA operation. That's how they hack your brain. That's why you don't want to fall for it. You don't. So, and that's why Trump said it's been so toyed with. You think he didn't see exactly what all of them did? Yes, Epstein was tied to the Clintons. He was tied to the Democrat Party, okay? All of these people they wanted Trump to take the bait on this because they want to turn it on him, and they're not going to be successful. But what's happened is they've all been exposed. The CIA is you're the people that do the mind hacking, by the way. And they want you all, that's why Candace and all these people want to convince themselves that no, we're all MAGA. No, none of you are MAGA. This Epstein thing was not first on many of our lists that are true MAGA. It's not, because we knew it went back to something deeper. I mean, look at the Clintons have a massive body count behind them. Dead body count, okay? Like, I think everybody, from Arkansas all the way to D.C., all right? I mean, they got rid of Epstein. I'm sure of it. Okay? They have a history of it. I'm sure they took him out because he knew too much. Not because it had anything to do with intelligence agencies, but everybody, including universities, including, what is it, Weinstein. What's his name? Those two brothers. He's that mathematician, Eric Weinstein, was saying, well, Epstein was tied to my graduate program, I don't know, whatever he did, his research document, and when he was at Harvard, I think, or Yale, Harvard, I think. And it's like, no, this is all universities, all of them. The universities are the very people that created the new communist left in the 60s that was violent. The intellectuals all being behind that. So it shouldn't be a surprise. When you hear Eric Weinstein, it's meant to reinforce into you that no, Epstein was way more important. No, he really wasn't all that important. He was just a dude that abused teenage girls, trafficked them, was a total pervert, and he knew many high politicians and actors and actresses. Him being tied to Israel and Mossad, no. I mean, he could be, but there's no evidence. Where's the evidence? That's what these people are good at. They have all got into their places. Because here's how you know, okay? So, like, one of the signs that Marjorie Taylor Greene wasn't really a conservative was because she, none of the Democrat Party got all upset about her. See, if somebody's really a threat to the Democrats, they'll raise holy hell. Look at what they did to Trump. They really, when it's one of theirs, and they have a loud mouth like Marjorie Taylor Greene is, and they remain silent, then you know that she's one of them. There's just these red flags that stand out with all these people, which is why when Donald Trump made that post about, I don't want you as my supporters, he's talking to them because he knows they never were his supporters. He knows what they're doing. It was a Democrat hoax. They took, because it was under Trump's first administration that Jeffrey Epstein was arrested. Then the Democrats wanting to, deflect, because they're, massively just do that as a party because they're a bunch of communists. And to cover Clinton, they've wrapped this entire Israel and Mossad thing around it, and there's no evidence for that. There is not. But they will convince you. Eric Weinstein and his brother will convince you. Candace will convince you. Dave Smith. And what is their goal? To attack Israel. That's what they've done. That's the mind hack right there. So, and then they use social media so that you see their video over and over again, and you see different people saying this, so it reinforces it. Yeah, don't fall for that. Don't let them mind hack you. Be a rebel. That's why it's like I'm not into the whole like we always have to be united. No, sometimes it's not good to be so united. That's why God said don't go down the wide road. Don't be on the road with everybody else, because when you are, you will be mind hacked. So if you let your ego keep you stuck there and not wanting to see the truth, then they've mind hacked you. If you can step away and realize all these people got into place to push this whole story that they wrapped around Epstein, then, well, they can't mind hack you. And I don't know about you, but I definitely do not want anybody having the ability to hack me.